Welcome to the intersection of faith and the culture. This is Wall Builders Live. You can find out more about our program online at wallbuilderslive.com. Our guest today is Representative Ken Ivory from Utah. Our good friend attended our legislators conference several times, spoken there, and helped educate other legislators on the issue of federal lands and how much they're, frankly, preventing states from being able to have some real progress. Ken Ivory, appreciate you coming on, bro.
My pleasure, Rick. Thanks for having me.
Ken, I got to ask you. So you talked about jurisdictions. Is all of these problems come back to this question of proper jurisdiction? And it seems like nobody asks that question anymore. They just say, well, I got a problem. I want government to fix it. I don't care who does it. I just want it fixed. Instead of saying, what level of government has the proper jurisdiction and authority here? And this question here with the EPA, they don't have, frankly, never been given proper jurisdiction, certainly not from our Constitution, nor the authority to be able to do something like this and changing the boundaries of a state. How important is it for us to just get back to the basic? It's almost like we need Schoolhouse Rocks to come back and everybody watch it on Saturday morning to just learn the basic jurisdictions of what government should or should not be doing. Who's got authority to do some of these things?
Exactly, Rick. I mean, the more we've talked about this and looked at it, that really is the fundamental. You know, Vince Lombardi with his world champion Green Bay Packers every year, he would hold up a ball and he'd say, gentlemen, this is a football. And then he'd take them out to the field and he'd say, this is a football field and here are the dimensions of it and here's how long it is. You know, he's talking to professional world champion Green Bay Packers. Well, the same thing, jurisdiction, governing right, power, and authority. You know, the Supreme Court less than 2 years ago said the independent power of the states. Let that sink in for a second. The independent power of the state serves as a check on the power of the federal government. And then they said, we look to the states to defend their prerogatives by adopting the simple expedient of not yielding to federal blandishments when they don't want to embrace federal policies as their own. And then they said this statement, again, less than 2 years ago. States are separate and independent sovereigns. Sometimes they have to act like it.
Ooh, wow. That's good. That's good. So what you're saying is when your jurisdiction is encroached upon, you can't just sit there. You got to push back.
Right. So you know what the federal government's doing, and this is just government dynamics. Rick, you know this better than anybody, but they'll move and encroach upon and push the jurisdictional line and then say that's the new normal.
Yeah.
And then they challenge the states and counties and others to sue them and litigate for 10 or 15 years, and then they'll push the jurisdictional line again and again and again. And instead of acting as a separate and independent sovereign, I mean, think about what that means. Separate, independent sovereign. Sovereign means supreme in authority, right, power, right? Or not mother may I, not pretty please, not litigate. It's simply acting of your own independent power. Well, I think until we get to that point where the states realize what a state is, you know, jurisdiction that we don't know or exercise is no better than jurisdiction we don't have.
Wow, that's brilliant what you just said, which means it's our job first to understand and study and to learn what proper jurisdictions are before we can actually use those jurisdictional lines.